for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeart Radio app. WINCAM Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good. Here's what you need to know on Fox Sports 940 Miami.
Holding down third place in the NL East by 2 games, the Marlins opened a 3-game series tonight at Lone Depot Park against their closest pursuer with the Atlanta Braves in the 3:05. Edward Cabrera set to take the mound for the Fish. Coverage here on Fox Sports 940 Miami begins at 6. NFL cutdown day is tomorrow for all 32 teams trying to reach their 53-man limit. The Dolphins started pairing their roster by letting loose running back Mike Boone and Aaron Shampklin, leaving the team with one healthy running back. Rookie Ollie Gordon also released tight end Pharaoh Brown, who scored 1 of 2 touchdowns in Saturday's win over Jacksonville, and corner Mike Hilton, who was thought to be the starting nickelback entering camp. It's week 1 of college football starting on Thursday. Gators coach Billy Napier said this afternoon DJ Lagway, who's been hurt most of the preseason, is healthy enough to go under center Saturday in the Gators opener against LIU. Florida State's depth chart is out for Saturday's home opener against Alabama. Wide receiver LaWayne McCoy and defensive tackle Kevin Wynn are hurt, limiting the Seminoles' depth. And day 2 of the U.S. Open tonight features 2-time champion Venus Williams beginning her 25th year at the event and defending men's champ Carlos Alcaraz. I'm Erica Rodriguez, Fox Sports 940 Miami.
From Fox Sports 940, Anachar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
1-1. He might have hit one out of the ballpark there. Out to right and deep. Second deck. He squared the bunt 2 pitches ago. And Kyle Stowers rips number 16 into the seats. Tied at 1, bottom 2.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
Pitch to Connor Norby. He drills out to right center and deep. Frelick back. Track wall. It is gone. Connor Norby. He's getting right. 1-1 pitch. That one hammered out to left center field and deep. Marcian Rojas back. They're looking up, and it's gone. Wag attack. A 2-run homer.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, great to have you with us. Nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park here in Miami on a Monday night. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. Fox Sports 940 Miami. It's game 131 of 162. A new week begins, and man, Mondays always feel better after a Sunday victory. And the Marlins will welcome in the Braves, and these two teams will square off for the final time this season. In fact, Miami begins a stretch of 17 consecutive games against the NL East. It starts tonight, and for the Marlins, they're seeking 2 things: to match their season win total with a victory tonight, and to fire back to this Braves team that took 4 out of 5. Remember, there was a cancellation in April, so we played 5 in Atlanta 2 weeks ago, and Atlanta took 4 of them, and they did it at a critical juncture in the season for the Marlins, who had just gotten back to 500. It's game 1 of this 3-game NL East set between the 59-71 Atlanta Braves and your 61-69 Miami Marlins. Spencer Strider, 26-year-old, former 2023 All-Star toes the rubber for the first time this season against Miami. He will go opposite Edward Cabrera, and this is a guy in Cabby who shoved for 8 innings. Again, about 2 weeks ago, he will take the ball for the Miami Marlins. Tonight, we will get going at 6:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Monday night with Jack McMullen and former Marlins All-Star Gabby Sanchez, I'm Steven Strom. We got a great show for you ahead. We're going the distance, and we thank you for your participation. What a great way to start your week on a Monday. A little Marlins on deck and Marlins baseball. We will hear from Tyler Phillips yesterday, a post-game interview that was, I guess, a pretty big hit over the night. We will also hear from Marlins manager Clayton McCullough and Jack McMullen on Edward Cabrera, Spencer Strider, and the weekend that Javier Sanoja had. Not in lineup tonight, but what a week it was for Javier Sanoja in the 3 games against Toronto. We'll get you to the count with the 2 men on the mound. Jack and Gabby will jump in. We're talking Spencer Strider. We'll actually hear from his post-game comments after his last start. Strider has a 5 ERA, believe it or not, but we'll hear Strider, and then we'll kind of break down what is going on with that fastball and how the Marlins can attack it. We'll get to our X-Poll question today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. I thought about doing what we usually do, where both teams are at, but after this interview that happened yesterday with Tyler Phillips, it would behoove me, and I would feel almost guilty not playing what was one of the weirdest encounters in my professional, the weirdest, I've been 3 years into this, the weirdest encounter and interview of my entire life. Tyler Phillips, who I don't think any of us thought was going to be pitching on Sunday. He threw 32 pitches on Saturday against the Blue Jays. Ronnie Enriquez came in late to face Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in that 8th inning, and I think Ronnie only spun 6 or 7 pitches. You're thinking to yourself, all right, Ronnie's going to go get a 4-out save. Here we go. All of a sudden, you hear Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's Tyler Phillips coming out. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's get Philly after this game. He made quick work of it. He only needed a couple of pitches for the Marlins to capture a Game 3 win, a big win, a series, an opportunity to not get swept. So here was my conversation with Tyler Phillips right after he collected his 2nd save of the season. All right, Jack, thank you very much. Tyler, you threw 32 pitches yesterday. When did you know you were going in tonight?
When they call down.
And you were ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. They call down, I'm pissed off, I'm ready to go.
Why do you get so pissed off?
I don't like hitters.
How did you get through that 9th?
Throw the ball over the plate.
How long does it take you to cool down after a win?
I never cool down.
And the slapping, what was the level of slapping when you came on?
Pretty hard, my face is hot. Yeah.
How important was it for your team to get this win today?
It's big. I mean, every win's big. It doesn't matter what the record is. Every win's big. That's what we're here for. It's to try to win the game.
What has this organization helped you unlock for your career this year?
I think just be yourself. Go out there. Do what's you. Whatever's going to make you successful, that's what you do. And this team, I see it. We're a lot of young guys, and when you play for each other, have some fun with it, that's what you got to do.
Great win. You're scaring me. Go to the clubhouse. Thank you very much. All right, that was Tyler Phillips yesterday. I couldn't even get a "you're welcome," just walked off the stage like it was some theater, and probably it was. Tyler Phillips is a different cat. We have gotten a chance to interact with him throughout the entire season. From a baseball's perspective, he's been a dream for the Marlins because he's come in. It really was a guy that was going to mop up the game. He has moved his way into medium leverage situations and now is in Clayton McCullough's best graces because he's starting to pitch the 8th and 9th inning, collected his 2nd save, but really awesome to, I guess, share with you some of the sides of these relief pitchers. We've heard that they're weird. I don't know if there's a level that I can compare that to anyone else, but Tyler Phillips, everyone, we appreciate the time from Philly. He walks around the clubhouse with a t-shirt that says "Arm feels good," and he was not lying after throwing 32 pitches on Saturday. You're thinking, no way Philly comes out, and here he comes on a Sunday afternoon, closing the game for the Miami Marlins. We will step aside. Marlins manager Clayton McCullough will sit down with our very own Jack McMullen to talk about Edward Cabrera and Spencer Strider, the keys to victory for a little revenge series. Marlins looking to win game number 62. They only won 62 last year in 2024, folks. It's August 25th. We're playing at 6:40 on the Marlins Radio Network.
But after the mound visit, the first pitch, Troy loops it into center. That is in for a base hit. Wagaman held for a minute. He will hold at third base. Hicks comes in to score. Fisher on the board. Runners at the corners. It's an RBI single from Johnston, and it's 4-1 Toronto in the bottom of the 7th. On the way. And that one drilled down the left field line. It's in for a base hit, and it rolls into the corner. Wagaman scores from third. Johnston around third. Relay throw coming home. Bichette fires to the plate. The tag is in time.
Not really close.
1-0 pitch. That one, a line shot up the gut. That's in for a base hit. They're waving Javi. The throw goes to third, so Sanoja will come in to score. It's an RBI pinch hit single for Lopez, and it's a one-run game. First pitch to Javier Sanoja on the way. And that one line, that's into left center for a base hit, and the game is tied. Sanoja ties it up. This guy is on fire right now. We're knotted at 4. He reached out, he met it, and a little liner up the gut makes it a 4-4 ball game. Hill in from third, and there's one away. 0-1. Marcy swings. He lines it out to left center field. Barso on the move. He won't get there. Otto comes in to score. Marcy gunning for second, and he's in there sliding. He's got an RBI double. We're tied at 5 in the bottom of the 10th. And Jacob Marcy is in scoring position with one away for Augustine Ramirez.
Lounge. We thank you for choosing us as the premier casino, resort, brunch, and date night spot in Miami. Reimagined, redesigned. Rediscover Miccosukee Casino and Resort online at miccosukee.com.
I got to be honest with you guys. I'm a little chapped. I'm seeking some revenge. The Atlanta Braves took it to the Marlins about 2 weeks ago. We had to play 5 games in Atlanta. The Marlins led in 4 of those games. They scored first multiple times. I'm looking for some revenge tonight. Welcome into Marlins on Deck. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. Who can help me with my revenge? Well, the Marlins manager, Clayton McCullough, hopefully dialed up a good lineup tonight and can make me very happy at the end of this Monday night. He sat down with Jack McMullen earlier this afternoon to get the keys to victory, plus Edward Cabrera and Spencer Strider.
Thank you very much, Stephen. You're with the skipper of the Marlins, Clayton McCullough. I am curious, have you recommended facial slapping to any other relievers in your bullpen, or is it just Phillips?
Right now it's just Phillips. It works for him. I think after his it might catch fire and take the storm by the league by storm here coming up. But right now, I think Tyler's the only one who gives himself the business before he heads out to the mound.
And he says he never cools down, too. That was a great win yesterday against Toronto. And I know this guy isn't in the lineup, but he had a heck of a weekend. Javier Sanoja. Sanoja, it seemed like any situation that he was in, he got the job done. And Saturday was a huge night for him. Did more of the same on Sunday. How has Javi, you feel like, blossomed over the year?
I'll say, even coming into the season, seeing him in spring training, we knew he had some versatility, but weren't sure what's the quality of the defense. And I think that's been the most remarkable thing from day one. He has played an elite third base. He's been more than capable at both short and second. Playing a lot of outfield at various points, and he's really played every position at such a high level. And offensively, we knew there was a ton of the bat to ball skills were elite, and have seen him now. He's taken some shots, I think, where he's looking to impact the ball with knowing he can always put that club away and pull out his 7-iron and turn the bat around and battle and hang in there and use the entire field. So I think forget sometimes this guy's 22 years old, and when he gets out there and plays, there's no fear. The moment's never too big for him, and trust him in any spot that comes up against any arm because he can hit velocity and he makes contact.
Do you think that he could hit a ball 107 miles an hour twice in the same game?
I don't want to shortchange Javi, no pun intended, but that's a nice revelation. And I think even some of the recent power, he's, 5 homers now I think he has, but even I don't know how many doubles he has. He's really he's impacting the ball, and we think that's a really encouraging part that he's still only 22. We think physically he can continue to mature. Fill out some more and continue to turn some of these balls that he's hitting well, be able to beat outfielders some, split gaps. So we think there's the offensive ceiling he hasn't really tapped into, but he's starting from such a great place with, again, the contact ability and now, how flat his swing is and how often he's flushing the baseball.
It felt like you guys really fought against maybe the best team in the American League over the weekend. What's your just overall assessment of how your guys played this weekend?
very encouraged with this weekend. I saw Toronto has a terrific team. I think looking at them offensively, even without Vladdy, in there, for one at bat, but they have a lot of guys who stress your pitchers with just their ability to make contact, and they lowest strikeout rate in the league. And then there's also some slug in there, and there's some right-left combinations that they can use. So it's a very good offense, and starting pitching-wise, we saw, Berrios is very capable and threw a great game. Gossman's been a good pitcher in this league for a long time. So you can see why they're having the type of season they're having. Like John Schneider and his crew do a terrific job with their team, and offensively they were just tough to navigate around, and they drove up some pitch counts with, I think, their peskiness in the box, which is something that we're preaching to our guys as well. Just try to be really tough outs and stress pitchers as much as you can to shorten starters and get into bullpen sooner. So I loved how our guys hung in there game one. You have a tough loss in game two, go extra innings and come up short. But I think a lot of the things we did in the back half of that game was really encouraging, and we took those into Sunday. And offensively, Marcy with a big hit, and what Yuri did on a day where it was no secret that both sides pitching-wise were going to be a little thinned out in the bullpen. And so we needed Yuri to go do what he did and to have the other guys step up. So unfortunate we lost 2 out of 3, Jack, but I think watching us go and really fight hard and play very well against one of the top teams in the American League is, again, very encouraging.
With Clayton McCullough here, pivoting to tonight against Atlanta, Spencer Strider, I know Steven just asked you about this in your media availability. This guy's a 5.2 ERA. Why do you feel like somebody that is, obviously has this much cachet so early in his career is at a 5.2 ERA right now?
I'm looking like the last couple have just been tough, and I think, he hasn't had that many starts this year, so a couple that are tough can kind of inflate the overall look of the numbers. I think we have to go into this one tonight expecting Spencer to try to come out. He's very talented, he's prideful, coming off a couple of tough starts. He's going to come out tonight and really want to put those behind him, and we're going to have to get on the fastball and be very diligent about laying off the secondary that's below the zone so we don't get caught chasing up and down.
Clayton McCullough, last one for you. Cappy really good against Atlanta last time out. See 11 hits last time out here at home against St. Louis. I know so much of what you talk about with Edward Cabrera is he's got to pitch to what he's good at. He's got to pitch to his strengths. How does this guy bounce back from an outing in which he allowed 11 base hits?
I expect Cabby to come out, and while frustrated, I'm sure that he gave up 11 hits and some runs that sometimes you have to be okay with that. I think it was as much St. Louis took a really good approach into that game against Cabby. I think their ability to somewhat just kind of take what they were given and take their take their knocks the other way, a lot of hits the other way that weren't of the highest quality, but they were just, I think, willing to try to see the ball deep, try to lay off some of the secondary pitches, and they did a really good job. So tonight with Cabby, it's not get too far away from what makes you and has made you so successful and been such a good run this year. And I guess hopefully that he can just strike with his curveball and his slider a little bit more than he was able to his last start.
Clayton McCullough, really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Steven.
All right, that was Marlins manager Clayton McCullough and Jack McMullen last time Cabby went out and faced the Braves. 8 innings of 1-run ball. When we return, we will get you ahead of the count with Cabrera and Strider. 6:40 first pitch, game 1, and the final leg of this homestand right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Plus human.
0-1. Sanoha with the ground ball over to short. So Jay-Z flips to second for 1, on to first, dug out by Contreras in time for the double play, but the run does come in to score. It's not productive from an RBI perspective. There are 2 men gone, but the Fish are on the board. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
Like Citi Field fall.
Yep.
And Atlanta.
First pitch, that one a liner up the gut, rolling right through into center field. It plates 2 more. Marcy in from third, Augustine around, he scores from second. Ball rolls back into the infield, and Heriberto Hernandez has a multi-hit, 2 RBI day. He makes it 3-0 Fish in the bottom of the 3rd. Extended from the letters. And payoff again. That one a bouncing ball up the middle. That one is through for a base hit. They're going to wave Hicks around. Nootbaar's throw is going to third. It beats Hernandez by plenty. They tag him out there, but Hicks does come in to score. It's an RBI single for Troy Johnston, and there's some more breathing room for the Fish. It's 4-1 Marlins in the bottom of the 5th. Acosta hits high in the air, out to center and deep. Nootbaar is back at the track, and it's gone. Maximo, the first hit of his career, is a big fly. Maximo Acosta, 418 feet later, is in the hit column. And it's 5-2 Marlins in the bottom of the sixth. Someone get him that baseball.
Now.
Here's the pitch. And it's cut on and missed. Sandy is fired up. It was perfect. A sinker at 93 dove to the lower inside edge. It's a season high. 9 punch outs for Sandy Alcantara, and he looks like Cy Sandy tonight.
Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, this is Derek Hill, and you're listening to Marlins On Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Final time these two teams face off here in 2025. It's the Marlins. It's the Braves. 15 days ago, these two teams also met in Atlanta. Atlanta took 4 out of 5. Marlins looking to punch back here against the Braves. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez, Fox Sports 940 Miami. Ahmed back in the studio, hitting the 1s and 2s. Let's get you ahead the count. We'll start here with Edward Cabrera, 27-year-old right-hander who will make his career high in counting, 23rd start of the season, his second one against Atlanta. He's 6-7 this year with a 3.52 ERA, 117 2/3 innings pitched. Of course, that is also a career high. 126 punchies to 39 free passes. He did take the loss on Tuesday against the Cardinals, allowed 6 runs, 4 of them earned on 11 hits and a walk. 4 1/3, career high, by the way, 11 hits. It was the first time since May 19th he's allowed more than 3 runs. Now, we talked about Cabby. He shoved the last time he faced Atlanta. He did go 8 innings and gave up just 1 run. So the big question is, does Cabby need to change anything? Because you did just see this team 2 weeks ago in Atlanta.
With Edward, it's more about what Edward needs to go do than, some of the, if you sometimes you see a team right away, like one series to the next, could there be some advantage for the hitters? Once you go a couple of weeks, I don't know how much that really plays into it, and believe like if Edward goes out today and gets ahead of hitters like we've seen him do in the stretches when he's good, and he strikes with his curveball and his secondary pitches, he threatens the zone more than he did last outing. I believe that Edward will go out and have a good start for us again tonight. So I think it's more about Edward and his ability to get ahead and be able to get his breaking pitches in the strike zone early in counts.
Average, according to Clayton McCullough. Spencer Strider, 26-year-old right-hander, will go opposite. He'll make his 18th start of the season, his first against Miami here in 2025. Hold your breath here, folks. 5-11, a 5.24 ERA. This was one of the best pitchers in baseball in 2023. 89 1/3 innings pitched, 102 punch-outs to 36 walks. Strider was pushed back. He was supposed to start this weekend in Atlanta, but ironically, Atlanta shuffled their rotation after claiming former Marlin Cal Quantrill. But back to Strider, he did take the loss on Monday against the White Sox, allowed 7 runs on 10 hits, a walk in 3 innings. Strider's given up at least 8 hits and 5 runs in all of his last 3 starts. A 4-seamer, a slider, a curveball, a changeup. The slider is Strider's pitch. And we asked Clayton McCullough this afternoon, is it weird to see a 5 ERA next to Spencer Strider's name?
It's hard to think and even look at him and prepare for him in that vein. I mean, still, Strider's still, you go into it, this guy has been a very elite pitcher now for, a number of years. Battled his own, health issues some, but you're still going to get big velo. You still have to be able to get after and hit his fastball. And if we force him to have to rely on his secondary pitches, we feel like that'll be a good thing for us, and us being able to make him strike those secondary pitches. But it starts with the fastball and being able to, handle it and move some of them forward.
All right, we will expand more on that coming up next. How did the Marlins get to Spencer Strider and continue this just, again, struggle the last 3 starts for Strider? Marlins offense looking to get on track tonight. Gabby Sanchez and Jack McMullen will break it down. 6:40 first pitch. They'll join me next on the Marlins Radio Network.
ADT. New York last week. He got the win and the payoff pitch. X hits one high in the air and deep. Out to right. There's no doubt about this one. Homer number 2 on the year for X-Man, and Xavier Edwards did not miss a stitch. Who knew he had this in him? 104 off the bat, 402 feet out to right field, and a leadoff homer for power threat Edwards. Open scoring right away. Stowers at third, Otto at second. 2-2 to Jacob. on the way. And Marcy drills a ball out to right and deep. A line shot. Nearly gets to the concourse and gone. Out to right. He got a hanging sweeper and he did not miss it. Second homer of his career. Second homer against Gavin Williams in the first. And the Fish are pouring it on. 2-2. That one drilled again out to right and deep. That thing is gone. Marcy looks over to the first base dugout, pumps his fist, and now points towards the bullpen. Jacob Marcy, 3 for 3 with a pair of homers and tied no more. Gabby made a sign. 2-1. That one hit high in the air, out to right center field, pretty deep. Schneemann is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Graham Pauley, he's heating up with the power stroke. His 4th homer on the year and his 3rd homer of the week. Graham Pauley gives the Fish some breathing room with a solo blast. It's 7-4 Marlins in the top of the 6th. In every clubhouse. Now, 1-0 pitch. That one lined into center field. That is in for a base hit.
AT&T Internet Free Caller más una línea límite de Starter SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 gigabits por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
All right, folks, happy Monday. Do we say that? Do people get annoyed when I say happy Monday? I don't know. Marlins on deck, Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez. Game 1 of this 3-game set. Nice win for the Marlins yesterday. Looked like the Marlins got back to the blueprint over the weekend against Toronto. I know they lost on Saturday, but cleaner baseball. Offense looked a little bit more crisp. Good starting pitching. And tonight it'll be Edward Cabrera going opposite Spencer Strider. So Jack and Gabby, I do want to play this sound from Spencer Strider. We'll start with Strider, who has struggled. We've mentioned it, a 5 ERA in his last start against the Chicago White Sox, allowed 7 runs on 10 hits. Here's Strider post-game after his start.
I mean, I don't think it's baffling. I think it makes plenty of sense. I mean, I can't compete in the strike zone, and that's it. So my fastball just isn't getting outs. It's not a contact pitch, and it's not moving the way that I need it to move. And so when I can't throw my fastball in the strike zone, obviously that gives the hitters a leg up. And then my slider is an effective pitch, but not if I'm behind in counts or not making guys swing. And then inevitably, if I throw it in the zone, it's getting crushed. So, and that's my fault. I mean, not executing it has nothing to do with anybody but me. So I think that's really the gist of it.
All right, Gabby, break this down.
I mean, here's the thing. The fastball and the slider. So I went back and I looked at video because I wanted to see the differences of what you get in Strider, right? One, the fastball velocity on average is down about 2 miles an hour. So that's going to play a part, right? Yep. Instead of it being 100 miles an hour, now he's topping out at 97. So there's a difference there. The other thing, too, everything's kind of staying arm side. So he's getting that arm side run. On the fastball, fine. Not that bad, even though guys are hitting about 310 off that fastball right now. Go back a couple of years ago, guys were only hitting 260 off that pitch. It's the slider that he's having trouble with that command. He's not really catching it out in front, so he's not getting that true slider. He will have some throughout the game, but a lot of them are staying arm side, which means they're just tumbling across the zone. He's leaving a lot across the heart of the plate, and guys are really hammering that pitch. On average, I believe that they're hitting about 230 off the slider. Like prior years, it was like 140. Guys weren't touching that pitch, but guys now are able to hit that. And then, of course, the fastball is not as effective because it doesn't have that same run that you saw a couple years ago.
Jack, where do you think it starts here with Strider?
Honestly, I think it starts from the heater. And, I'll go back to the old adage, the best pitch in baseball is a well-executed fastball. And he just doesn't execute his fastball well right now. He's not doing it. I will tell you, we have been gawking at Yuri Perez's four-seam fastball this year. It's one of the best fastballs in baseball. You know what Yuri does? It carries through and he gets swing and miss on a four-seam fastball. There are very few people that do that. 2-3 years ago, Spencer Strider was one of the 2 or 3 guys in baseball that could get swing and miss on his fastball. And you look at the whiff rate on his fastball, I think it's gone from like 29% down to 15% this year. So it's almost like if you took Yuri and said, hey, we're going to turn your fastball effectiveness down about 20%. And he really only has one other pitch that he can go to. And to Gabby's point, it's not very effective right now. So for me, like, it all stems off the fastball. We talk about the arsenal waterfalling off the heater.
it's tough when you have 2.5 pitches to work with like Strider, when the best one is not an 80 grade fastball per scouting terms.
Yeah.
Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez, Steven Strom. Let's do one quick one, guys, because this was a difficult week for the Marlins. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against St. Louis. There was some frustration. It wasn't Marlins baseball. Did you feel like, what signs did you see over the weekend that you felt like the Marlins were getting better going into this one tonight?
I'll say Saturday, even though they lost. That was a well-played baseball game, and they continued that into Sunday, and then they got the win. But I feel like on Saturday, you started to see kind of that turn.
Jack?
You see you singing the anthem right now.
Oh, my goodness.
I stopped because I heard the anthem.
I need to break. I need to hear this. Louis Durante is doing the national anthem. Steve's Guarantee Expo question. It's next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Got to stand up.
Upgrade.
Last week, he got the win and the payoff pitch. X hits one high in the air and deep, out to right. There's no doubt about this one. Homer number 2 on the year for X-Man, and Xavier Edwards did not miss a stitch. Who knew he had this in him? 104 off the bat, 402 feet out to right field, and a leadoff homer for power threat Edwards. Open scoring right away. Stowers at third, Otto at second. 2-2 to Jacob. On the way. And Marcy drills a ball out to right and deep. A line shot. Nearly gets to the concourse and gone. Out to right. He got a hanging sweeper and he did not miss it. Second homer of his career. Second homer against Gavin Williams in the first. And the Fish are pouring it on. 2-2. That one drilled again out to right and deep. That thing is gone. Marcy looks over to the first base dugout, pumps his fist, and now points towards the bullpen. Jacob Marcy, 3 for 3 with a pair of homers and tied no more. Gabby made a sign. 2-1. That one hit high in the air out to right center field, pretty deep. Schneemann is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Graham Pauley, he's heating up with the power stroke. His 4th homer on the year and his 3rd homer of the week. Graham Pauley gives the Fish some breathing room with a solo blast. It's 7-4 Marlins in the top of the 6th. In every clubhouse now. 1-0 pitch. That one lined into center field. That is in for a base hit. X can practically walk home from third base.
Avera.com. This offer is valid until September 1st, 2025. Other exclusions may apply.
All right, folks, buckle up. 10 minutes away from first pitch. Marlins, Braves, game 1 of this 3-game set. Marlins upended the Blue Jays yesterday to salvage the series, looking to carry over some momentum with Edward Cabrera, who will toe the rubber for Miami. Last time he faced the Braves, how about 8 innings of 1-run ball? He will go opposite Spencer Strider, 26-year-old right-hander who makes his 18th start of the season. Steven Strom, hello, everyone. Again, happy Monday. Gabby Sanchez, Jack McMullen have your call in 10 minutes. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio. This one's a layup, okay? I gave you a gimme. I gave you a bunny. I gave you the ball right at the block and told you just bank it in. What former Marlin, who was a starter for the Fish, is now with the Atlanta Braves? The Braves claimed him off of waivers. Gabby Sanchez giving me the puppy eyes. It's not going to work. I know you know the answer, Gabriel, but you are not going to answer. It is now time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
I really liked what Gabby Sanchez said in segment 4. He talked about the command. And for me, what this means, Marlins have to draw 3 walks against Strider. He doesn't have great fastball command. He doesn't have great slider command either, according to Gabby Sanchez. 20 earned runs over his last 3 starts. I'm starting to play the mental game. Strider might come out here trying to nibble. He probably sees this Marlins lineup as a younger team that generally tries to chase. Miami has to stand pat. They need to stay strong and make Strider engage you in the strike zone. 3 walks today for the Miami Marlins against Spencer Strider.
Give me a homer. Who's hitting a homer? Give me one.
Wags.
Baby, Wags homer.
Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. You hear Gabby Sanchez. Dude's always ready to rock. Starting lineups and first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It is next on the Marlins Radio Network.
With Robinhood, not only can